In an old sound archive, a song began playing itself from a blank tape. No one had pressed play, and no one had written a single note of it. Wren found the tape wedged behind a shelf of forgotten reels. She loved sounds the way other people loved photographs. Every evening, she catalogued old recordings inside the dusty vault. She lived alone above the archive, surrounded by silence and static. Her only companion was an ancient reel-to-reel machine named Otto. She pressed play on the unmarked tape, just to see what it held. A melody rose from the speakers, soft and strangely familiar. The song had no title, no composer, and no matching sheet music anywhere. Wren searched every catalogue in the building and found nothing. The song simply did not exist in any archive on Earth. She played it again, expecting the exact same recording. This time, the melody shifted, adding a note that wasn't there before. Analog tape could not change on its own, yet it had. Her hands trembled as she rewound the reel to check again. The new note stayed, as if the tape remembered the change. She decided not to tell anyone, afraid they would call her crazy. That night, she dreamed of a woman's voice humming in the dark. She woke up certain the humming had come from inside the tape. The next morning, she played the song for her mentor, Mr. Callahan. He listened closely, then went pale and said nothing at all. He told her some sounds were better left buried in silence. Wren ignored his warning and kept the tape hidden in her coat. Each time she played it, a new fragment of sound appeared. A door creaking, a kettle whistling, a child's laughter far away. The fragments felt like pieces of someone else's memories. She began recording every playthrough, searching for a pattern. The song always grew louder near the same 15-second mark. At that exact mark, she heard someone whisper a single word. The words sounded like a name, though she could not be certain. She slowed the tape down until the whisper became clear. The whisper said, softly, "Remember me." A chill spread through her chest as she stared at the machine. She started visiting old libraries, searching for anyone who knew the song. An elderly archivist told her a similar tune had surfaced decades earlier. He said it appeared right before someone important was forgotten by history. Wren asked what happened to the people who heard it. He simply said, they remembered what they were about to lose. That night, the tape added another fragment, a woman singing lullabies. The voice felt warm, aching, and impossibly close to her heart. Wren suddenly recognized the melody from somewhere deep in her childhood. It was the exact lullaby her grandmother used to hum to her. Her grandmother had passed away when Wren was only 7 years old. She hadn't heard that lullaby in over a decade. Her hands shook as she asked how a blank tape could know it. She searched her grandmother's old belongings, stored in the vault's basement. Inside a rusted tin, she found a single unlabeled cassette. The cassette was recorded the same week her grandmother had died. She played it and heard her grandmother's trembling final whisper. Her grandmother had said, "Don't let my voice disappear completely." Wren realized that whisper had somehow become the seed of the song. Every sound her grandmother ever made had been slowly gathering since then. The echo vault itself seemed to be alive, weaving forgotten voices together. It collected every echo that refused to fade into silence. The song was not a melody. It was a memory refusing to disappear. Wren understood the tape was still growing, still listening, still remembering. She realized the song chose people who were about to forget someone. It gave them one final chance to hear what they were losing. Wren wondered how many other tapes existed like this one. She searched deeper into the vault, past shelves she'd never opened. Hidden behind an old wall, she found an entire hidden room. Inside were hundreds of tapes, each one glowing faintly in the dark. Every tape held a fragment of someone the world had almost forgotten. Wren realized the vault had been built to protect exactly this. Mr. Callahan appeared behind her, finally ready to explain everything. He said his own mother's voice was hidden somewhere in this room. He had been too afraid to listen, afraid of the grief it carried. Wren told him fear was smaller than the chance to remember someone. Together, they played his mother's tape for the very first time. His mother's laughter filled the room, warm and impossibly alive. Mr. Callahan wept, hearing a sound he thought was lost forever. Wren realized the song had never wanted to frighten anyone at all. It only wanted to be heard before it disappeared completely. She returned to her grandmother's tape and pressed play one last time. The lullaby played fully, gentle and complete, for the very first time. At the end, her grandmother's voice said, "Thank you for remembering me." Tears filled Wren's eyes as the melody softened into silence. She realized grief and love had been woven into the very same sound. Wren picked up a blank tape and pressed the record button herself. She began humming her grandmother's lullaby back into the microphone. She added her own voice to the growing archive of memory. Every sound she loved would now live inside these walls forever. The vault hummed softly, as if thanking her for continuing the song. Somewhere, a new tape began playing itself, waiting for someone else to listen.